Hiya Dave, great to see you the other day down the bottom land, do some work on your wedge play. Just a quick recap on your session. We can see here at the top of the screen, one of the things we notice first of all is the ball's very far back for a standard pitch shot. Now on this shot here we're trying to go back to P3. We get a little bit long, so that shows a lack of discipline in regards to where we have control over the radius of the swing. We just get a little bit long there considering we're working on your new system, which is finishing at P3. Having said that, pretty good takeaway from there now. However, both centres move forward very much on top of the golf ball, right shoulder quite high, and as a result can't really maintain the wedge coming through impact as much as you'd like. So yes, we want the body weight moving forward, but we don't want both the upper centre and the lower centre moving at the same rate. You see the big deep divot struggling to get the golf club to come out of its descent. As we then look at the bottom footage here, what we're going to see is I'm stabilising the upper axis. We've moved the ball up 2 in the stance, which is going to help shallow out the angle of attack just a touch. That was the best ball position for you during your session. On the way back again we go a little bit past P3, but again a nice looking action at that point. Because the upper axis is now stable, we don't get both centres moving out in front quite as much. So the upper centre is stable, the lower centre has moved forward, and if we just take these 2 images back to impact, we can see now, we'll just put some lines on the screen for you. Here, shoulder's quite level. Here, right shoulder a little bit lower than the left, giving us a little bit more axis tilt here and allowing us to maintain the wedge coming through impact much more consistently. We then run this swing through, we see that the lower centre continues to move forward, much shallower divot, much better extension on the way through, and overall much better wedge action. If we watch here, upper centre continues forward, not a great deal of extension, and a little bit too much forward flexion as we come through the hitting area. So stabilise the upper axis and maintain that movement forward with the hips during your downswing. Added to that, keep working on 2 balls up in your stance. If we take a look at your putting now quickly, I don't think the crowd's reaction was terribly kind in this one. We'll go to that later. Putting, to me, you always look very dominant with your right side. If I just put you through there at setup from both angles, very straight right arm. I'd like to see that right arm softened up a little bit. With the straight right arm, we tend to be quite wooden looking, and you can see there are a lot of body rotation as we come through, still working too much with the shoulders in my opinion and not enough with the arms. I'd like to see a balance there between arms and shoulders. I know a lot of people would suggest that the putting stroke is purely powered by the shoulders. I think that's a lovely theory, but in reality when you watch the good putters like Tiger, definitely a little bit of forearm use there to power the stroke. So a little bit too much dominated with the right side and still not enough use of this triangle here to power the putting stroke. So try feeling that you're going to power it with the forearms a little bit more like you see with Tiger rather than the shoulders, which again is a nice theory but not necessarily demonstrated by players who put on slightly slower than tour standard greens. In regards to the crowd's reaction, Chris, I think it was a little bit harsh. I'll say to you, Dave, I thought it was a little bit harsh myself, particularly from the big fella at the end. I would have thought there would have been a touch more support from big brother. Young Dave Ianson, kind of expect that from him, but you're Chris. No, I thought he was a better man than that. Have fun with it, see you soon, and keep up the good work.